Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Robert Conley on Robert Live on NGSC Sports. And tonight, I want to just say Happy New Year. We're starting a new year today. I hope you had a good time last night, yesterday, this morning. I hope that everything that you wish for, that you hope for, that you pray for, I hope that everything that you would like to happen within reason happens for you. This is Robert Conley on NGSC Sports, sponsored by Mansion Club. Now, the season is nearly over. We've got one more week after today, and the season will be over with. Right? We got one more week after today. What we know right now is that the Steelers are still in the hunt. We needed the Dolphins to lose, and they lost. We needed the Jets to lose, and they are losing. So the Steelers are still in the hunt. Hey, Sarah, how are you doing? We've come a long way. We've come a very, very long way. We've lost Ben. He's gone. He was gone for the start of the season. We started with Trubisky. He came out firing on all cylinders, and then he went away. And then we bring in Pickett. And Pickett's a rookie, still a rookie. And it looked like he was going to be okay, and then it didn't. And now it does. And in order for us to go as far as we want to go, and we always want to go to the Super Bowl, right? We always feel like we've got a team that's going to make it to the Super Bowl. Well, when today started, we had a 3% chance of making it to the playoffs. 3%. We've been here before, many, many times before, and now that percentage has increased because the Jets lost, they're losing, and the Dolphins lost. So our percentages of getting into the playoffs have just increased. Now, what they're going to say, and what they say all the time, they, meaning the analysts, those people that say whatever they want to say to catch your attention, what they are going to say is that the Steelers control their own destiny. They're going to say that tonight. You're going to hear them say it probably more than once. The Steelers control their own destiny, because if we win tonight, we're still in the hunt for Red October. If we lose tonight, it's over. We'll have one more game, and that's it. So we've got to win tonight in order to keep our hopes out of the graveyard. Okay, let me give you this little bit of information that I have about. So we needed, like I said, we needed the Jets and the Dolphins to lose. Dolphins are gone. Jets still in there playing. I say in the casino, still on television. We had a 3% chance. Now that's increased. We needed these things to happen to keep the man with the sickle at bay, because he's coming, and he's been coming hard. He's been coming hard. You know the guy I'm talking about with the big black cape on, where you don't see his face. That guy. That's who I'm talking about. So he's breathing heavily in our faces right now. He's not going to stop until it's all over. He's not going to stop, because what's going to be said, what's going to be happening, what the announcers are going to be saying, what the analysts are going to be saying is that the Steelers came out of nowhere, and they've done it before. They've come in as the 6th seed before and took the whole ball of wax. And they're going to believe that that's what they're going to do again this season, this postseason, because Everything was against them, against all odds. You know, if I can say this, it looked like they didn't have a chance in you complete the sentence. You know what I'm talking about. Here again, it comes down to the last game of the season, sometimes the last 20, 30, or 40 of the season. What we got next week is the game that's going to make the difference. The game is holding us on the thread because we're going to win tonight and we're going to win next week. But we're not playing the last game of the season at night next week. So the Bills going to be, let's see if they put if their last game of the season, if they are on next week. Let's see if that's what's going. If that's what's going to happen, our fate will lie in their hands. It's happened before. It's happening. So as we wait game, as we getting ready, and it's getting exciting today. The one I've just been watching is the Raiders in their plan, the 49ers. That's a game going on. I'm in Vegas, and you know me, I don't believe in luck in Vegas. They're going to make their money. Whatever they say goes. Like Ohio State last night. It's so interesting. You can think what you want to think. You're going to believe what you want to believe, and you're going to say, I don't think that that's the case. They don't want to believe that Vegas controls it. They don't want to believe that their coaches and their players are throwing the game. They don't want to believe that these guys are too young to do that. They wouldn't do that to us. Well, when we watch and watch it over again if you want to watch it, even just the last 2 minutes of last night's game. This is Robert Conley on NGSC Sports on Robert Live, sponsored by Mansion Club. But watch the Ohio State game last night, just the last 2 minutes, and watch the different things that happened during that game. Because the winners were favored by 6.5 points. So they had to win by 7. A lot of people bought those tickets. A lot of people bought those bet slips. Ohio State people bought for Ohio State to win. The outcome was that the field goal kicker was kicking a 50-yard field goal. He had already kicked a 48-yarder. He had already kicked a 48-yarder yesterday. And then he had a 50-yarder to kick to win the game. And he went to kick the ball. And I'd say the same thing about Steelers because I've seen stuff like this happen. I told you a few years ago, the Steelers appeared to wait. They appeared to wait in 3 or 4 games in one season. They appeared to wait until the last minute to kick a field goal to win all the way through the game. It doesn't matter to me who it is. If I see it, I see it. And last night, when the kicker went up to kick that last field goal, and all he needed to do was kick one, and he'd already been on target. And the Buckeyes only needed to run the ball, and the quarterback had been running the ball all night long successfully. And then when it comes down to the last few plays of the game, you take the quarterback run out of the equation. That's pathetic. So here we are tonight to watch the Steelers, who's still in the hunt. They're still in the hunt because Jets probably have lost by now, and the Dolphins lost earlier. Steelers still in the hunt.
tonight, it's going to be a good game. Jackson is out, and that's what we want, but we beat Jackson. It doesn't really matter if Jackson is in or the other quarterback is in. We beat both of them. So that it doesn't really matter there. But he's out, and that's a good thing because we've got somebody with less experience that's in there. As long as our defense plays, as long as our defense keeps him in the pocket, as long as our defense shuts him down, we're going to be okay. We're going to win this game tonight. I'm guessing right now, I'm going to guess that we're going to win by 6 points or more. It's going to be a close game, but I think that I've been off all season long. You know, I haven't called very much right this year. That's because the money is taking over. And it's not just raw talent that is happening so much anymore. The money is taking over more and more and more. There are 30 states that allow for sports betting now, plus DC. That's 31 territories, states, whatever they are, that are now allowing sports betting. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. Vegas is not going to leave their finances to chance. They're not going to do it. They've been here too long. They know the ins and outs of entertainment because that's what it is. We're watching entertainment. As much as we get involved, as deeply as we are involved, as much as we love our Steelers, as much as we love our teams, take a look at this. We've got the front office, right? And we got the coaching staff. And we got the quarterback. And then we got the other players. And then we got the weather. And then we got the officials. And then we got the money. You put all of those together. You put all of those variables together. And the only thing, just like everything else, the only thing that controls it all is the money. I love my Steelers. I'm not doubting them. I'm not saying that everybody's involved. I'm not saying that anybody's involved. I'm telling you, it looks like it to me, and it looks like the officials throwing the flags are controlling the momentum. When the Steelers were in Baltimore playing the Ravens about 9 years ago, Steelers were driving down the field, and Ben threw the ball to Hines Ward. Hines went up, caught the ball, came down, got hit helmet to helmet around the 35-yard line. They didn't call it. It was such a hard hit and knocked him out. He fumbled the ball. Ravens recovered it. Ravens started going the other way. And they got down somewhere around the 35-yard line. And they threw a pass. And the receiver caught it. Our guy hit the receiver in the chest. They called defenseless receiver on the Pittsburgh Steelers, gave them another 15 yards, and the Ravens went in for a touchdown. At that time, because the Ravens won the game, at that time, I went to my lawyer, and I was going to sue the NFL for their controlled officiating. My lawyer said, look, I can't tell you about this because I'm not an entertainment lawyer, but I've got a colleague who is. He went to that colleague. He came back to me. He said, the file that you put together is good enough to win this lawsuit against the NFL, and it's a situation of the mother organization bringing down a dynasty within the organization. And you can win. It's going to take $2,200 to get started. I can't tell you how much it's going to be after that. It's going to be $2,200 to get started, but you can win. I'm going to tell you now, though, that the only people that are going to benefit financially are season ticket holders and professional gamblers whose money depends on betting. That's who will benefit financially. So if you want to go forward, you won't get any cash out of this. I didn't know all of my Steelers friends that I know now. So I didn't get the cash together. I didn't file the lawsuit. As a matter of fact, I have an uncle and a daughter that told me, don't do it, don't try it. NFL's got too much money and they know too many people, so don't try it. So I didn't do it. So from that point on, which was mid-season, at that time was 16 games in the season. The 8th game had just been played. I picked the AFC North games for the rest of the season on that day. I wrote them down. I picked all 32 games. When it came to the end of the season and all 32 games had been played, I only lost 2. If I was in Vegas, I would have made a lot of money, but I wasn't in Vegas. And there was no sports betting where I was at. And then about 4 years ago, I was working, doing some home improvement work in Circleville, Ohio. And the homeowner, when I was about to leave, he said, I sure hope the Cavs get into the playoffs. I said, they're going to get in and they're going to win. He said, I sure hope they get into the playoffs. I said, they're going to be 3 games behind in the series championship and they're going to win the championship. Then I forgot about it. I left and I came to Vegas. Hashtag double cash daily on Cash App. Help him make you money. Thanks, Sarah. I love that advertising. So I forgot all about the Cavs and what I said, but I came to Vegas and I was in a casino and a basketball game was going on. I said, oh, the champ. I asked somebody, I said, so what is this in the series? They said there's only 2 games left. This game and the final game. If the Cavs win this, they're going on. Oh, so I put a bet in for the Cavs to win that game. Cavs won. That night, I posted on Facebook, the Cavs are going to win the championship by 4 points. I never watched any games the entire season except for one, and that was the one I bet on that I won. That's the only one. And then it came, the final game was coming up. The final game was coming up. And because I only won 1-to-1 money, I said, I'm not going to bet on them. I can make more money playing Baccarat than betting on this game, risking less money. So I didn't make a bet on the last game. But the last game came up and they were playing. And I was watching the end of the game. And it was like about maybe 50 seconds or something left in the game, maybe less. And LeBron James was going up for the points down inside the key, and he got fouled and he fell to the floor and he lay there for 15, 20, 30 seconds. Then he got up holding his forearm with his hand dangling like his wrist was broken. And the audience was quiet. He went to the sidelines and he sat down. He stayed there for a while and he came back and he got to the foul line and he shot the foul shots with the hand that looked like the wrist was broken. And then when the final buzzer went off, the Cavs had won the championship by 4 points. How did I know that? I didn't know for sure, but I knew there was entertainment there, and that's what I saw. Why did I believe that they were going to win the championship? Because that year, just as this year, there was a documentary on about the Cavs and the city that has the most loyal fans, which they call Cleveland. That documentary was on. That told me Cleveland's going to win the championship. Franco Harris just passed away in the 50th anniversary with a documentary. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. I hope I'm not wrong. We got to win this game tonight and move on and go to next week and win the last game and hope that the hunt for Red October doesn't end, and hope that these other two teams that need to win and lose next week happens, and we win the final game, and we walk in the back door of the playoffs, and we keep walking through the back door in every game until we get to that final stage and win the Super Bowl with another rookie. This is Robert Conley on NGSC Sports, sponsored by Mansion Club. I'm going to go in here and watch this football game, and I know you will too. There's going to be some moments. You know, there's always moments. It wouldn't be like that if it wasn't Steelers football. And everybody that doesn't like Matt Canada, let me give you this fact. We're here where we are now because of Matt Canada. I always tell you it's a chess tournament all the way through the season. And you can't show all of your moves in the beginning or the middle of the season. You got to save something. And the last two games, the play calling has been right on point, because last week we marched down the field for the game-winning touchdown and controlled the ball all the way down the field to win. And the week before, we controlled the ball for 13 minutes in one quarter. You don't do that with poor play calling. Get off of Matt Canada's butt. Quit believing he's fired. He's not going anywhere. This is Robert Conley on Robert Live on NGSC Sports. Let's win this game tonight, and I'll see you next week. I'm gone, y'all.